sure, I'll take a glass of water, right? So that's kind of like how you have to look at the forehand. You don't need some over complex story to get the power and the extension. If anything, this is just step one. Step two is making sure you're coming into the ball like this. I don't think you need to think about coming under it, you know, hitting high to low like everyone talks about. I think you need to make it simple. Put your racket here. Shouldn't be too high, shouldn't be too low, right? You don't want to look like, you know, the guy from 1950. But at the end of the day, the guys from 1950 and the Chris Everts of the world, they were very concise and stable with their techniques. So you're basically going to do a modern version of that, which is that, right? So it's like a slight loop, but you're right to the point, right? I'm not trying to get to the water here. I'm not trying to get to the water underneath and be really tricky, right? When I shook your hand, we were right directly to the hand. We didn't need to get into some like convoluted roller coaster ride to get to a shaking hand note, right? So here, the other thing is this is a sport of timing, right? It's not golf where the ball just sits there, you can take your time. It's an opposing velocity, right? So there's an opposing velocity, the quicker you can get back to that position of ready, the better, right? Yeah. So what's faster, this or this? Right, and what's easier? So Sinner, he was just taught improperly, he just has so many other great attributes that he compensates for. Like his backhand, you see how simple it is and concise, right? The problem with the forehand is you don't have the two hands, so the arm it's longer. So there's a lot of dangling around and distractions to be able to have. So I like this, right? You get it around shoulder length, right? Right. So you do quickly, right, like that. But you relax it. You don't need to do this because your next step is this. So what's easier, to come from here to here or here to here? You're just overcomplicating it, right? Does that make sense? So I would do that. The other thing that people do is they talk too much about the unit turn. So when you're just turning the shoulders, you lose control of your hand, right? Your hand is really everything, right? So when I get my water, I'm turning my shoulders, but my hand is feeling the water, it's directing, it's reaching, right? Everyone's like, what is this? This is tightness. Makes sense? So you need to be relaxed. That's why they say relaxed forehands are the best. And it's also how quick I can get, right? I'm not doing this. And all this other talk of like unit turn, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that is such like just a dysfunctional way to coach, really, right? So you're here, simple, normal. You're not here, you're not here, you're here. What's wrong with this, right? And then the next step is from here, I have to just get to this position, right? It's like, look at it as a goalpost. That's goalpost 1, goalpost 2. How do I get my hand, my arm, my racket to that position? Does that make sense? So if you're over here, how efficient does that look versus, or I mean, it's ridiculous. Just think about it just like pragmatically, like, where's the logic in this game? There isn't any. Right? So that's the first step, but the second step is just as important. So 3 steps is this one. The second one is how fast can I get my racket from here to the ball? So the ball can be here, here. Obviously the ball changes, right? But I need, wherever the ball is, my racket's got to be pretty much linear. The only time it would change is if it's up here. So above your shoulder, you obviously want a little bit of a declining angle, like a negative degrees. But everything else, you want to be here. The last step is going to be that finish. The finish is the biggest part. Everyone's doing this. And the only way I learn to acquire or help someone acquire it is to make sure you're finishing. So I do a lot of slow reps where I go ready, or firm, but then I try to finish and freeze. It's the only way you can guarantee yourself extension is if you freeze. See how like even your air shot looks bad. It looks so off, it's crazy. No wonder your wrist is hurting, right? If I told you to freeze here, you have no choice. You're gonna have to start using your arm. Your wrist is the last part, it's at the end. But you can't use your wrist until your arm is extended. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? It's like anything, you know? Your arm is the power. This is the power, that's the flick for the spin, for the direction of where you're going. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I just did this, so I would just do a slow rep where I go, all right, I'm back quick, and then I'm finished. But let's see how I froze right there. The reason I freeze is because I want to make sure that I'm extended. When you're doing it in real time, it's hard for us to see what's going on, you know, unless you video and then you freeze it. I'd rather just freeze it, you know, if it's a lefty forehand, same thing. My backhand was very good because I would extend out, freeze, and then finish. This is the easy. Once you're here, anybody can do this. This is not, there's no talent in this. The talent is here, here, and then this is the key component to everything. And nobody can accomplish that. So the best way to do it is to dumb down a little bit. And it's like feed me a couple shots. It's not even really right. Back quick, and then I can see how I extend there. So I'm back quick, and then so I know I'm extended. So then, as I start to get uncomfortable, you look, even with the back, you see how I'm frozen right now? Watch me for a second. So I'm freezing the back. Right, so what happens is, this also guarantees me, when you do this, you can never hit the ball late. You'll never hit the ball late again. You'll never think about how to hit the ball late or early. People say, hit the ball earlier. Hit 3 shots in a row. Hit 3 balls in a row. All that. Keep your head still. All the stupid stuff that doesn't matter. What matters is if you're frozen, there's no way you can hit the ball late like that. You're going to hit the ball here, which is going to alleviate your wrist, your tennis elbow, and your shoulder. It's like an automatic cure. And then this is the easy part. You use your wrist here at the end. Right. So what I would do is think about, I think about the clock. Right. So I go to about 5 o'clock, relax it here. You got to be hitting, this is called the linear position, which is completely level and dead even to the shot. And then freeze here. Can you freeze right there? That's where you should be frozen. You should just stay there right now and just feel comfortable. That should be your new position for the rest of your forehand life. And you never have to question yourself again here. So think about it like a clock so you can simplify it. So there's a circle your clock around you. Let's say it's around. So it's 12. You start at 12, relaxed. You go to 5. 5 is here. 6 is here, right? It's halfway. 5. 4 is too little. 6 is too little. I want you at 5. Obviously, this is the easy. That's easy to turn. That's not rocket science. The next step is rock solid level at, let's say, what time is that? About 2:33. Right. But more importantly, it's where you're going to finish. So the finish, watch where I'm finishing. So I'm 5, 3. I'm finishing at around, what do you think that is? 11? About 11, 11:30. Right. So let's do it. 12. Don't get too greedy. Yeah, you don't want to turn. That's the other thing. I just noticed that you're like, this is a game. I just said there's an opposing velocity. So you can only do too much. It's delaying time and energy. Okay, go. 5. Quick. Good. Now hit it 2:30. Freeze. Good. And now 11. Pretty good. See, you have to, now that's, you got to embed in your motor system now. So it's this, and by the way, whether I'm open stance, whether I'm closed stance, it doesn't matter because this has its own brain, really. It has its own operation. So that tells you that it's correct. So I could do this, I could hit here and extend there, same thing. If I have time, I do the same thing, I just have more power and ancillary, you know, leg work. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's it. Now, eventually, you want to finish. The only thing you need to be careful a little bit is you want to freeze. When you freeze, you want to hit it like 30 to 50%. Because obviously, you're not going to hit 1,000 miles an hour and freeze. Like, you're not going to try to yank your arm out of your body, right? So that's the only catch to this drill. But it's magical because you're not going to have to ever think about technique again. Everything else, or injuries for that matter. But you got to be very specific and detailed. Does that make sense?